This is the new Audi A3, now the third generation of Audi's compact class star. Peter Henjes and Bruni Long are going to take Audi's latest baby out for a spin and put it through its paces. Audi engineers shaved 80 kilograms from the old model's weight. The hood, fenders, and rear cross beams are made of aluminum, saving 11 kilograms. Other body elements are made of hot stamped steel, reducing weight by another 18 kilograms. Bruni says the steering wheel makes a great impression when she gets in and starts up the car. It just feels right. It's well positioned, and no matter where you take hold, you can get a great grip. Plus, it's made out of different materials that are also very appealing. The body is more aggressive than the previous version. The headlights are set wide, and together with the grille, underline the car's girth. From any angle, the design is more vivid than before. The broad two-part taillights also play up the width of the car's haunches. For the car's launch, the engine range includes a diesel and 2 gasoline options. We tested the more powerful gas unit with 132 kilowatts. Our test car also had Audi's Quattro permanent all-wheel drive system, which will be available to the public in a few months. Our car was also outfitted with the 6-speed S-tronic double-clutch automatic transmission, which powers the car to 100 kilometers per hour in 7 seconds. Top speed is 225 kilometers per hour. Fuel economy is rated at 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers. The suspension is built for fast driving, when its dynamic capabilities become apparent. On country roads, says Bruni, the car stays flat with little roll. It handles fantastically and is unbelievably quiet. She also says that power delivery is immediate. Just tap the accelerator and off you go. It's a lot of fun. Bruni says that Audi has outdone itself with the A3. It feels more like a top-of-the-range car rather than a middle-class compact. On the road, it feels like an expensive, high-quality vehicle. And Bruni is a veteran Audi driver. The interior announces the car's premium status as well. Crisp lines are the rule, and the high-quality materials are pleasing to the touch. Audi has also made the seats more comfortable. The seating position is wonderful, says Peter. The seats themselves are very comfortable, even for larger people. The trunk offers ample luggage space with a comfortable low sill for easy loading. Overall, Peter is in love with the design. He thinks it's sporty and dynamic. Bruni finds it may be a tad aggressive in its styling, but she digs it. She says it's a real head-turner. So, has Audi succeeded? The A3 is supposed to entice buyers to move up to a higher class of car, the premium compact class. Buyers looking for family transport will have to wait until fall, when Audi will release the 5-door Sportback version. quiet, fuel-efficient, and eco-friendly, but still a true sports car. BMW is proud of its i8 concept. The basic i8 hasn't gone into serial production yet, but a prototype convertible version has already been built. Sounds great, but skeptics may recall that so far no BMW concept car has ever made it to serial production. We hope that will change with the i8. Klaus Dreger is Chief of Research and Development for BMW. He tells us that the car targets customers who want top-quality motoring combined with ecological sustainability. The most striking aspect of this Roadster's design is its flat chassis, which looks as if it were composed of several layers. At 4 meters and 48 centimeters, the car is slightly shorter than early studies indicated, and the back seat is gone. The original scissor doors were made of glass. Now they're done in a carbon composite. The passenger cabin is also made of carbon, and most of the chassis parts are aluminum. But weighing it at 1,630 kilos, the i8 Spider concept is still no lightweight. Despite some sci-fi worthy components, the interior seems to be nearly ready for production. Though the lines are new, the layout and certain components will be familiar to BMW fans. BMW says the i8 can go 30 kilometers on electricity alone. The hybrid powertrain consists of a motor in the front that's driven by a 96 kilowatt lithium-ion battery. A gasoline engine powers the rear wheels with another 164 kilowatts. That's a total of 260 kilowatts, which takes the Spider from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. And according to BMW, the i8 sets new standards of fuel efficiency, just 3 liters per 100 kilometers. Opel is launching a sports version of its workhorse Astra model. The OPC edition, named after the Opel Performance Center, has a 2-liter gas engine that delivers 206 kilowatts, the most powerful Astra on the market. Fuel economy works out as 8.1 liters per 100 kilometers. Prices in Germany start at 34,000 euros. Mercedes is aiming for the youth market with its third-generation A-Class, which features significantly more aggressive styling than the outgoing model. Fuel consumption drops up to 26%, and some models produce less than 100 grams of CO2 per kilometer. The new A-Class starts at 23,978 euros in Germany. For our car tester Patrick, the Lancia Delta conjures up memories of the iconic 80s rally car of the same name. He's still flying a flag for the Italian classic. Its sharp-edged styling gave it a unique personality that was more than skin deep. Today's Delta is another car altogether. Patrick finds it much more feminine. The corners and the edges are gone, as well as the rear spoiler. The new Delta is made up of softer lines, more rounded contours that flow into each other. That's not exactly to his liking. So is today's Delta a worthy successor to the legendary Integrale model of the 80s? Under that idiosyncratically styled shell is a long version of the Fiat Bravo chassis. Let's hope Patrick can find something to like about it. We tested the Delta with its most powerful gasoline engine, the 1.8 DI turbojet, which is good for 147 kilowatts and generates 320 Newton meters of torque. Patrick finds all that power is a bit much for the front wheels to handle. There's lots of torque steer, the feeling that the steering wheel is pulling away when you step on the gas. And on wet roads, traction can be a real problem. That may not matter to Lancia, who want to play down the Integrale's macho image from the 80s. Women are now also a target group for the modern Delta. Patrick can't get the old Integrale out of his head. For him, that was a real car, hard as nails. This car has an automatic transmission, but with 6 gears, he thinks it's overwhelmed. He would have preferred a 4-speed. That would have let drivers actually drive. The new 6-speed is constantly hunting for the right gear, shifting up and down. And if he floors the accelerator, it holds the RPMs high long after he's taken his foot off the gas. That might account for the Delta's mediocre fuel economy, 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers. It's not a great figure in this category of car. Patrick found more to complain about in his test drive. The dashboard has a label that says Poltronafrau, an upscale Italian furniture brand. Patrick suspects they created the seats as well, which he finds unsupportive. He'd much prefer classic Recaro seats with their high bolsters for aggressive driving. Whereas the Delta seat is more like a sofa, says Patrick, the least comfortable seat he's ever experienced with no lateral support. The seat is too short for him, and the adjustability is limited. Poltronafrau should stick to the home design and stay out of car interiors.
Poltronafrau, sicherlich ganz nett zu Hause in so eine kleine Designerwohnung, aber bitte nicht im Auto.
The navigation system has come in for a lot of criticism over the years. Its voice recognition feature can drive even the most patient user crazy.
Die zur Verfügung stehenden Befehle kennenzulernen, sagen Sie Hilfe.
Hilfe!
Die zur Verfügung stehenden Befehle sind Nachrichtenleser, Einstellungen oder Abbrechen.
It's all enough to make Patrick just want to turn it off. The system features so many tiresome commands that he feels veritably oppressed by it as he drives down the road. The Delta does have some styling cues to its credit. The roof, nicknamed the Flying Bridge, forms a graceful arch over the body. The overall design is distinctive, and the car looks different each time you see it. It definitely doesn't blend in. That goes for the interior as well, which features exaggerated touches. The speedometer and rev counter look stylish, but they're hard to read, definitely a triumph of form over function. The same goes for the sat-nav. On the other hand, there's enough room for 4 people. The 1.8-liter DI turbojet does what it's told, but it does it with a friendly snarl, where the old Delta Integrale would have roared. A new Integrale it is not, even with its most powerful engine. As tested, the Lancia Delta costs €32,350. Too much money and too much power. Costing €10,000 less, the 1.4-liter engine with 88 kilowatts does the trick. Mattes is at this year's Auto-Zeitung Youngtimer Classic in Frankfurt. He even has the honor of being an active participant and has an assistant on board in the shape of Katrin. They're in a Polo G40, a model Katrin also drives privately, and she agrees to let Mattes take the wheel. Now it's time to go to the start. And they're off. Well, not quite yet, because it takes some time until the 100-strong field have all lined up. But eventually, they're all set. In front of them is a Golf GL convertible with the number 73. They're 74. Mattes is a bit worried about the power steering, primarily because the car doesn't have any. It was built in 1992, after all. But otherwise, everything feels good. He's belted up and has a headrest, so nothing can go wrong.
Ich habe eine Kopfstütze, kann eigentlich nichts mehr schief gehen.
Hier ist nochmal wieder dieser G-Lader drin, von dem wir heute schon mal gesprochen haben.
Or did he speak too soon?
Hier, dabei. Ja, der legendäre.
Wo muss ich hin?
Katrin provides some much-needed help with the navigation. Mattes seems to be getting the hang of it.
Geht schon gut.
It's a nice little engine, says Katrin. And its 113 horsepower are nothing to sneeze at. So how did Katrin come to drive a Polo G40? Originally, she wanted an Opel, a Corsa B. That was her dream car. The Polo belonged to her then boyfriend. When he offered her the car, which was in top condition, she couldn't say no.
Dann hast du ihn genommen. Der war dann schon so, wie er jetzt
But it
heute
wasn't
auch ist.
always in such great shape. It was the special beach edition, so it came with a lot of great extras and equipment by the standards back then. But as it is today, nothing's original.
Was hast du dran
Meaning?
gemacht?
It's got a new finish, explains Katrin, and had a G40 engine fitted like this one too. A new interior, a new upholstery.
Ja, das heißt,
Evidently, she knows the technical in and outs of her car. So if the car stops, they don't need to call for help because Katrin's there.
Haben wir ja kein Problem, müssen wir ja keinen anrufen, weil du bist ja dabei.
And they'll be out on the road for some time. But this isn't like a conventional race. There's no need for wild passing maneuvers at the Youngtimer Classic Rally. That said, the field is pretty tightly packed, but there's plenty of time for breaks. It's time for one of the special challenges, although Mattes isn't sure what that involves. They have to cover 700 meters in 1 minute 58 seconds, 10 of them in reverse, in 8 seconds.
Ja.
Let's see if they manage that. If Mattes is nervous, he's not showing it.
Probieren geht über Studieren.
The most important thing with a special challenge is strict adherence to the stipulated times. There are penalty points for being a fraction of a second too slow or too fast. So one of the essential pieces of equipment here is a stopwatch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wie viel ist die andere Zeit?
But even if our dynamic duo end up slightly off time, it's no big deal. The priority here is the fun factor. The rally is open to all comers. The only prerequisite is that the car has to be at least 20 years old in order to qualify as a modern classic in Germany. But vintage models over 30 years old are also in the field. Then, the next special challenge. This time, they have to cover 30 meters in 8 seconds. This proves to be one of the easiest challenges for our team. Katrin is a member of a VW Polo Club. Are there cars there where she thinks the owners have overdone it? You always get that with tuning, says Mattes. There's a fine line between cheap and ugly and slick and stunning, although Katrin admits that she and her boyfriend have the two most extreme cars at their club. So when Katrin is sitting in this regular Polo G40, does it feel like being back in the Stone Age?
Fühlt man sich hier in dem Auto schon irgendwie wie in der Steinzeit, oder?
It's all original parts, unlike hers. But she does like driving it. It's not often you're in a 20-year-old car that has only 30,000 kilometers on the clock, notes Mattes. After a demanding day full of special tests and skill challenges, they finally reached the finish line in downtown Frankfurt. The old Polo has been rather impressive. Unlike a car with turbocharging, announces Mattes, this baby has power from the moment you hit the gas. He found it a lot of fun to drive.
Für seine Zeit ein Star unter den leistungsstarken Autos. Vielen herzlichen Dank. Nummer 74, der Polo G40.
Although the rally was pretty demanding, just how far did they drive? A good 8 hours, replies Katrin, around 350 kilometers. It was tough, but Mattes stresses that Katrin was a very good assistant. She should do it more often, he says. Katrin insists he's also a good driver. But having been inside the Polo G40 for so long, Mattes now wants to check out some of the other beauts on show here. Katrin, too.